Some people immediately look at this and think, well, he's a pimp, insinuating that these women are afraid of him and he's forcing them into doing work that they don't want to do.
People have this idea that, oh, you're a pimp, you just get these girls, you say, work, and they're scared of you and they just work. It's bullshit. I was doing this in London. A girl could have walked out the door any day, called the police on me any day, and they didn't. They wanted to be with me because they genuinely understood that their life was better if they obeyed me.
Listen to that statement. Their life is better if they obeyed me. If they obeyed me. Who does that sound like? Remember R. Kelly and all the people that he had under his fucking control and how they talked about him afterwards? How about the people that were under Epstein's control?
All right, guys, so today we're going to check out Bruce Rivers. He's the criminal lawyer, if you know who he is. I don't think Nick does.
Bruce Rivers, the criminal lawyer.
No, he has like a cool rap at the beginning. It's like, Bruce Rivers, I'm the criminal lawyer.
What?
Bruce Rivers, I'm the criminal lawyer.
He's the criminal lawyer. And who is Bruce Rivers? He's the criminal lawyer.
Hey.
Yeah, it's like that. But
Cool.
anyway, this is the only guy I've seen that has like a logical take on Andrew Tate's situation. Like everyone else is just fanboys on the internet that are like, it's the Matrix coming after him. He didn't do anything wrong. It's like, what's more likely? That these secret people are after him or that he actually did something illegal, like forcing girls to do webcam or forcing girls to do OnlyFans or not letting them leave when they want to, coercion, etc., etc. What's more likely?
I mean, if he gets Jeff Epstein, then we'll know.
If he gets killed, maybe we'll know. But also, like, if this was in America, I feel like it would be much easier to tell if it was true or not. But since it's in Romania, like, there is the slight possibility that the authorities were paid to take him in.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll maybe find out. I don't know. I think Romania is like a third world country, so I don't know if we'll ever know the truth. But anyway, Bruce Rivers kind of breaks down because, like I've said before, Andrew Tate in his own videos kind of like boasts about doing this webcam business. He boasts about like telling girls what to do, hitting them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Sometimes he plays it off like it's a joke, but maybe it's not. And then also my other take is like Andrew Tate. So if he was involved in illegal activity and he keeps telling people first they cancel you, then they put you in jail, and then they kill you.
Then they kill you.
But maybe he always knew that it was a possibility he was going to go to jail for his crimes. So he started putting that out there, like, so people would think once he does get arrested, they're like, see, he told us the Matrix is after him.
He's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
He's going to react to all the self-snitching.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer. And today we're reacting to some criticism I've received online. A lot of the supporters of Andrew Tate think I'm taking things out of context.
But yeah, you see, he already said all of Andrew Tate's supporters are like thinking he took things out of context, etc. And listen, I like Andrew Tate. I love his personality. I think he's hilarious. And I think he's pretty smart in some of the things he says. But I don't necessarily think that he's innocent, and we will see. I don't know if he's guilty either, but I think a lot of people are jumping to the conclusion that he is not guilty because he's said that he was going to be arrested in advance.
Yeah, it's lining up too smoothly.
So what is he charged with? He's charged with sex trafficking, and I would venture to bet that maybe even some tax stuff might come down the pike. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Sex trafficking, there's unless you're dealing with underage, when we don't have any evidence that anybody's underage, but we have three things: force, fraud, or coercion. Force, obviously, that's like being in chains and, you know, not being allowed to leave. Fraud, being kept there under false pretenses. If there's an element of fraud in the way that you are enticing somebody or keeping somebody in a particular position to work for you, and if it's in the sex business, that's sex trafficking. Or coercion, threat of harm or some other way to limit your movement. And so let's kind of look at one of his very first videos that he did. These are his words, not my words.
When you say webcam company, people assume, oh, it's just a sex fest. But in reality, it's a shitload of people management. The HR category of the webcam business is the largest and most important thing. You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you.
Yeah, see, in a bunch of his videos, he's talked about the webcam business and how he gets girls to do all the work and takes all the money from them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's illegal. I mean, I don't know. It depends how he gets them to do that, I guess, is probably what the lawyer's going to say.
Yeah, and if he does actually take all of the money or if he actually pays them somewhat.
He pays them a tiny amount.
Yeah. So to make it, I mean, like he could be doing that to make it technically a job.
Yeah.
You know.
Girls, how to make a shit ton of money and give it all to you. Now, this is one of his first instructional videos. A lot of guys, you know, he's got a lot of fans. And a lot of guys think, oh, in order to have some wealth, you have to have a Bugatti, you have to do this, you have to do that. In order to have wealth, you have to have self-pride. You have to know who you are as a person. And where do you get that from? You get that from building, as I've always said. So I do two things. I like to be motivation for younger guys and women for that matter, who are looking at maybe a possible direction in their career. So I like to motivate people in a very positive way. But the other thing I do is I do offer a legal analysis of...
Okay, Bruce, which one is it? Is it fraud, coercion, or the other one?
Yeah, get to the point, bro.
Jesus. And you can tell that they're cutting a bunch of stuff out, too.
Yeah, good
Bruce likes to talk. He's a lawyer.
He's a talker, man.
But his videos are actually really good. I like you, Bruce.
What's going on here? Right off the bat, he tells you that his main goal is to have them work for him and him get all the money.
Webcam studios everywhere. There's one webcam studio down the road called Studio 20 with 100 rooms. 100 rooms, 8-hour shifts, 3 girls a day. That's 300 girls a day working, and they all work on LiveGasming. So if you're going to go on LiveGasming, you're going to be competing with big-time guys. And what you want to be competing with is people at home in their bedrooms. You don't want to be competing with serious businessmen, because I know for a fact, Studio 20, the owner of Studio 20 and the owner of the website itself, LiveGasming, are friends. And they've got some kind of backhander agreement. So all the Studio 20 girls appear high on the web page. They appear at the top of the page. Obviously, if you're going to go on there, you don't want to scroll down 10 pages to find a girl. You're going to go to the girls in the first row. All his girls appear high up because he's given the guy a backhand. It's all this shady business. It's a huge competition market.
So you can see his main thrust is just making money. And he doesn't give a shit how he does it, really. He's going to tell you in a second here the origin of the story. And he's repeated these same concepts through multiple interviews, right? And so when you say I'm taking things out of context, we've sourced this and sourced this and sourced this, and he's repeated it.
Yeah, I don't think he's taken it out of context. I've seen Andrew Tate before I've even seen this video. I've seen him say that a bunch of times.
Yeah, he says that like in every video almost.
Yeah, he always boasts about how his first few $1 million was from the webcam business. He got these girls to work for him, and then he built it up to have like more than 80 girls or whatever in his house. And he paid them like... I watched a Vice interview recently. At a Vice interview, this girl claims that she was raped, or she saw a girl being raped by Andrew Tate when they were both living with him, and that he would pay her $15 an hour to do the webcam, but he would be making like 20 grand a month or more.
Jeez.
From her.
That's crazy.
Multiple times. It is something when you hear who he wants to compete. He doesn't want to compete with the main factories. He wants to compete with the girls that are at home. So it that gives you an indication that he's going, you know, it's like in nature, I suppose. It's you go after the weakest.
Now, I've told very shortly my story, how I kind of started my whole webcam business. I'll tell it again in detail here. I was fighting. I had some money. I had £70,000 in a safe in my...
One of our viewers had indicated that he's gotten most of his money from fighting. He had 70 grand.
Okay, that's how you can tell the person making comments pays no attention and is just on Andrew Tate's side no matter what, because Andrew Tate always said he made like very little money from fighting. When he finally finished his career, he took his last like 70 grand
Yeah.
and flew the girls out, and that's when he started the webcam business. So some guy was commenting like, you're taking this out of context. Andrew made all his money from fighting.
Oh, really?
It's like, you're not even paying attention to anything Andrew says. You're just backing him up no matter what.
Dude, you've been getting really into this. I don't know any of this stuff, man.
Well, I've just seen him on like podcasts and stuff, and I paid attention.
Yeah,
He tells
I don't
the
really
story,
watch
like,
him too much.
On any video he's on, he's telling that story.
I just I think the reason why I don't watch Andrew Tate that much is because every video I see of him, it seems like he's saying the same thing.
Oh, it is.
You know,
Yeah.
so I'm just like, okay, he's saying the same thing. I don't want to watch that.
He does. He says the same thing.
Yeah.
70,000 euros or pounds or whatever he had, and that was it.
bedroom in my house. I wanted to buy property in Thailand and move to Thailand. I needed 80,000. I was 10 grand short, and I thought I'd go to the casino and make the 10.
That's also telling. I'm going to go to the casino and try to make money when he's not even a gambler. Guys, stay away from the casino. There's a reason that they're so big.
Which was obviously, we all know how that story went. So I lost 30. So now I need 40.
He said,
Wait, what did he say? I didn't hear.
He said he had 80 grand when he left fighting. He wanted to move to Ireland, but he was $10,000 short. So he said he would go to the casino and get the 10 grand, but he lost 30.
So now he needs 40.
Now he needs 40.
That's what he said. Okay.
Yeah.
She does need you. That's how you control. That's the control part. And it is a fallacy. And what is fallacy? Fraud.
She can't do this without you, to ensure that she doesn't do it without you. So this is what screen share is all about. Effectively, this is the way the business works. The girl sits on the camera. Now, when the girl is on camera, and you would have seen from my promotional video, that was at the height of my webcam empire. The blonde in that video I'm still with now. You'll see from there how we explain that there's people typing or pretending to be the girl 24 hours a day. So it hasn't got to be 24.
That part, I suppose, is fine in terms of a business model. But it's fraud. I mean, he's the one typing. And so you think you're getting all excited by something she's saying, and here you're really communicating with Andrew Tate.
A bunch of his fanboys would be excited about that.
So he's saying that Andrew Tate's telling that girl what to say, and that's why it's fraud?
I think he was saying, I don't think we caught the part where he was saying fraud, but he also said it was fraud. The girl's on the camera, and the guy that's chatting with them thinks they're talking to the girl, but really they're talking to Andrew Tate. So that's fraud.
That's
But
what
I don't
meant.
think that fraud qualifies as like a sexual crime. I think that's just like business fraud type. But there is I know he's going to talk about another type of fraud that actually qualifies as like a sex crime.
Listen up, motherfuckers. So, the girl's on the webcam. She's sitting here. When a girl is on camera, she has a public room, which people will visit, and they will spend money in and talk shit.
And when you think about it, the people that he's appealing to on these webcams are just a bunch of really lonely guys, and there's a ton of them out there.
It is your job to train the girl to talk to and interact with that public room as much as possible. So when people come in the room and say, oh, hey, how are you? She's like, they type. The men type, hey, how are you? It comes in the box. She goes, oh, hey, I'm fine, thank you. And she has to make sure her public room is engaging and interesting as much as possible to keep people in the room. Now, while the public...
So there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with what he's actually doing. It's the nature of how he's getting the girls there and keeping them there.
She can also receive private messages. And all those private messages you are going to reply to. And you're going to reply to them via screen share on a computer in a different room. As long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network, you're having more conversations with men than a girl could ever have on her own. Because she's too busy on her own. She's overwhelmed.
It's a good business model. You got to set this up, dude. Just between us, because we're both fine to do it. Like, no coercion needed. So I feel like we've missed the part where he talked about... Let's just go further and see if he talks about it. I want to find the part where he's actually saying, like, what's the crime here?
You've all seen the fucking legalities of banking. Trying to get money out of these sites into your bank without paying a shitload of tax is actually very difficult.
See, it's that whole avoiding taxes. And it's not legal to do that. It's not legal to not pay your taxes.
And that was going to be about an hour segment of this fucking thing. But we don't need to do that anymore because in the last 6 months, Chatterbait have released a Bitcoin option. So they'll pay you in Bitcoin. So if your girl on there working, let's say you generate $3,000, $4,000, bang, you get Bitcoin.
So yeah, him saying in this video is definitely going to make the IRS or whatever it's called in his country look into him a little more, because they're probably like, we probably got like millions in back taxes here.
And I had a separate phone with all my girls' guys in that phone, and I kept control of it. And I would speak to them, and before she went online, I would tell her like any basic information. You don't let your girl have this, because if your girl ever runs off and leaves you, which is going to happen to some of you at least, you don't want her to have an address book of all the guys she can get money from.
Another aspect of control. You don't want her to have your client list, because if she has your client list, she can leave you. So you've got to restrict her information. So it's systematic, and it's a systematic method of control to control these women. Now, these are not my words. These are his words and his words alone.
You want her to leave and go, well, I don't know the account. I don't have the password to the account. I've never set it up before. I don't know how the banking works. I don't have any of my guys' phone numbers. I have nothing. And that's why they don't want to leave, because they're like, oh, well, he has everything. I need him. I have to stay with him. He has everything. It's important. I'm telling you, it's
All right, so this is what the lawyer's been talking about. If Andrew's like controlling every aspect of the girls' lives and making it harder for them to go out on their own and do this, so they kind of like feel like they have to do it for him, and they have no other options. They don't have enough money to leave. They don't have any contacts. They don't,
Yeah.
They have to stay. That's coercion, and it's sex trafficking. Yeah, the coercion I think is the biggest one that they're gonna get him on.
Yeah, that's probably the main. That's the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah, I feel like with all the videos Andrew has out, plus if they actually interview girls and they corroborate these things, like, how does he control you?
Yeah.
Or if they kind of figure out the details of how they're controlled, they could probably prove that in court, and he'd probably get in trouble for that sex trafficking crime.
Yeah.
The rape one, because I know in Romania currently he was arrested for sex trafficking and rape. So I don't know how that rape one is going, or who was the victim in that, or if it's real or anything. The coercion seems totally
The coercion seems pretty
possible,
sound.
like that could be proven.
It makes sense, and a lot of things sound like it's pointing that way.
So at first, when I heard sex trafficking, I was thinking it was like, forcing girls to be escorts type of thing.
Yeah.
But really what it is just this coercion. Or like not forcing, but controlling girls to the point where they feel like they can only do the webcam business for him. He's making the majority of the money.
He knows how to do all these things. All they have to do is look pretty.
Right. He's like, you don't know how to do this on your own.
You don't have the connections. You don't have the intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the intelligence, but you don't know how to do these things.
Yes. So that part, I feel like he definitely could be guilty of. I don't know all the aspects of the law and like what has to be proven for that, but it seems like just based on the things he says that he could be guilty of that.
Yeah, he has kind of incriminated himself a little bit with his videos, which is going to be rough to get around for whoever's going to represent him in court.
They're just going to go in court. They're going to wheel in a TV. They're going to turn on and be like, Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think Andrew Tate could be guilty of coercion as sex trafficking? We're not saying, because I know a lot of his fanboys are saying there's no way he's a sex trafficker, and I don't think he's doing the escorting. I don't think he's forcing girls to prostitute themselves, although he could.
He could have.
He could have, but I think the main thing is the coercion and forcing girls to work for him instead of going out on their own when they want to.
Yep.
So anyway, what do you guys think? Leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe button, watch one of our other videos, and we'll see you in the next one.
Adios, amigos.
Dude, you gotta watch this video.